Going on, everybody? My name is Big Trucker B out of the truck. I'm the host for Trucker Stories and Big Trucker B on YouTube. So got a lot of things to talk about today. Quite a few things actually, and that's one of them, the big ELD mandate that's going on right now. Whether you're for or against it, I just want to put out a couple little things out there that might actually help you get a better understanding of what's really going on. So as you all know, the ELD mandate is on December 18th of 2017. That's when they're going to start transitioning everything into these companies, into the trucks. I know my company right now we're on paper logs, but my boss just told me in a couple weeks I will be on ELD. So it's not my first time on an ELD. I'm not for or against it. I believe there's a lot of positive and negative things about it, but let's look at another fact about some things. So let's understand something. Is it really about safety? Well, yes and no. I think personally it's about money. I believe that ELD is a tool that pretty much, if you're following the law, it should be no different than a logbook. It's more of an hour service regulation problem. The people that made these hours of service have to have been living in a whole other world. I mean, they have to have been. They're obviously not drivers. Whoever did these hours of service regulations did not understand truck driving at all. Don't understand anything. For one, they assume that there's no traffic, no bad weather, and they think that these shippers and receivers unload us as quick as possible. Well, they're wrong. In fact, there's so many examples of these ELDs going out on people when they're stuck in traffic trying to get to a truck stop, and then what happens when they get to a truck stop? The truck stop's full because there's already there's already people parked there. It's just everybody's on ELDs these days, so truck stops are full. Maybe build more truck stops, maybe build more parking. I don't know. Maybe that's not really a thing we should think about. They think that these drivers are robots. They don't ever take into account that everybody's sleep needs are different. They don't ever take into account that their age, their health, and their schedule is different. Our logs need to change. So I was recently doing some research, and I found out that the FMCSA is preparing to test fatigue levels when drivers are able to choose their sleeper berth hours after, other than the 8-2 split. So they're thinking about doing like a 5-5, a 6-4, or 7-3. Maybe that'll work. Maybe there's a lot more solutions out there, but I think that instead of mandating everybody to go into this ELD thing, that maybe they should start looking into the hours regulations itself with that 14-hour period. Because like I said, we're all different. Heck, they want drivers to be robots, but we're not. But they're going to try to replace us with robots. And you know what I'm talking about with this autonomous trucks, or self-driving bullshit trucks. Excuse my language for those younger than can't cuss. Anyway, as you all know as well, during the phase 3 of everything, because there's 3 phases, and that was the first phase that was on December 16th, 2015. They're starting to introduce everything. We've had protests before, and we got denied. Our voices get denied all the time, only because we're drivers. That's just how it is, apparently. So phase 3, December 16th, 2019, the official rule will be that every truck that have paper logs will be moving into electronic logs. Now, how do we go against this? Well, you can be part of the solution. Maybe you can be the one to have your own personal voice. I know October 3rd, I won't be able to go to Washington, D.C., but I already told my boss I'm taking it off, and I'm going to explain why, and they agree. I think the October 3rd, there's going to be a protest in Washington, D.C. And that would be thanks to Operation Black and Blue by Mike Gunney and ELD or Me by Tony Justice. These two guys have been really pushing against this protest. I've also went on overdriveonline.com and they have a phone number. You can reach out to them if you plan on protesting as well. The phone number is 530-408-6423. They'll keep pushing as well. But yeah, these two guys, Mike and Tony Justice, these guys have been, every day I see them post on Facebook, not really go against, they're trying to make an awareness of the problems with this ELD mandate. However, Facebook, I mean, I don't think a government politician is really looking at it, nor do they care, but it does spread the word to the people that do care, like myself. But hopefully, you know, we can get everything that we've put on Facebook out there and put it on paper, you know, write it down. I'm constantly writing everything down. Like I got 3 pages? Yeah, 3 pages, but this third one's still filling out. I've got 3 pages of stuff I've been writing down about this, trying to get my facts straight, so that way I'm not, you know, just putting out BS. But let's look at some labor laws for this as well. You know, as for the labor law of trucking, well, we have our own set of laws. As you all know, that we're only allowed to drive 11 hours a day, on a 14-hour period a day, and we only get 70 hours a week. But we don't get paid for every one of those hours. In fact, no, we don't get paid for the on-duty hours that we're supposed to be sitting at the dock, unless a lot of these companies will, you know, they'll start charging an hour and a half to 2 hours. Then that's when they'll pay you. But I think that we should be paid for every hour that we're sitting at the dock, even that first hour. You know what? That's our time. If we have to be on duty, we should be paid. It's no different than going into a job, you know, and clocking in on duty, working, and then clocking out. We are on our job. We are working. The reason why these companies are getting away with this situation is because of millennials. Like myself, an example. Millennials, they go into truck driving school automatically learning about ELDs. We learned about them. Yeah, they taught us about paper logs, but they were pushing the ELD thing constantly. And they go in, you know, from having no job or a minimum wage job to a job that's paying, you know, new drivers. And I know this rate's going to sound kind of funny, but them, you know, from 700 to 1,000 a week after taxes or before, you know. And these new drivers think that's amazing, that's awesome money. But what they don't understand is there's more money to be made in this job. It's just we're being ripped off by these bigger corporations paying little amounts. We're getting ripped off by the warehouses, the shippers and receivers that want to take up our time to load and unload. Another thing I seen, I could be wrong on this, but another thing I seen the other day was this on-duty rule, section 395-2, which I actually have saved in here, and my bookmark is destroyed. I'm having a hard time with this, but maybe you guys can alliterate or help me out here. I was reading that the on-duty rule means that we have to be on duty while at the dock at all times. But what kind of bugs me about that is, what if our scheduled time is, you know, we get there on scheduled time, but we're still waiting there for 7 or 8 hours, and you know, running out our clock. Well, apparently we're supposed to be on duty at all times, but I thought we were allowed to mark off duty waiting while loading, unloading, and that's what I've been looking for. I got the whole thing here, but I've already took up I've got the whole thing right here. I've already taken up enough of you guys' time. The average cost for the new ELDs, or the there's multiple ones for these companies, for the smaller companies, is going to be pretty crazy. And so I'm going to focus on the GPS Insight. It's $650 to get a unit, and then plus $150 installation fee. And then they also have a monthly fee of $35. Can you and then of course, if you want just the rental, it's $60, includes service installation. Of course, it gives you all your data, but it's ridiculous. The amount of money you're gonna have to spend. Can you imagine putting $650 if you have what, about 10 trucks, you know, that it's a lot of money putting into these trucks. I can go on all day with this stuff, guys. I think it's a good and bad thing with this ELDs, but I think it needs to be more revised. The ELD is a tool, but it shouldn't be mandated. My logbook is also a tool. You know, this technology that comes in that says, you know, we were using the logbook, and we kind of did our own way to make sure we got enough rest, and to some people say it's against the law, but to us, we were always legal. And then along comes technology, and here we are, that, you know, that pretty much forces us to go on the literal hours of service regulations, even if it means driving while fatigued or resting while you're alert. You know, it's kind of ridiculous, the amount of, or I'm sorry, the lack of information that these pencil pushers, you know about our actual job and what we have to go do. So, with that being said, I know I've wasted about 12 minutes of you guys' time. I know a lot of people are going to disagree or agree with me, but I want you all to understand that there's people out there fighting for you. There's words being said that should be listened to by our congressmen, by our House of Representatives, by the White House in general, even the president. You know, there's little voices like mine. Every little voices count. All right? I don't have that many followers on my YouTube. I do kind of a good amount on my Facebook page, which I'm pretty happy about, which thank you guys, by the way. Check out Trucker Stories for more. I'm not really much in the political thing, but I really think this should be heard, because we need to keep on fighting. We need to keep pushing. We need to keep making sure we're not being played by the system. Also check out my YouTube channel as well, especially new drivers. If y'all need help, you know, I kind of relate to you guys. I mean, I've only been on the road for about 4 years now. It's Big Trucker B at youtube.com. So with that being said, I wish you all a safe and wonderful day. Also, one other thing I had to point out before I actually ended that video, more of a PS. You know, with all this technology like pre-pass, CCTV cameras on the highways, even smartphones, GPS, you know, having GPS in smartphones, and cameras pretty much everywhere these days, it's kind of hard to falsify a logbook.
If you're going my way, I wanna try all night long.